Hey everybody! Today we're talking about transposition for your assignment for this week. Transposition is when you have one set of notes versus another in two different key signatures. So for example, because certain instruments don't play in non-transposing keys, they have to say a different note for them to sound the same. So let's start off with our non-transposing instruments first. Non-transposing instruments mean that when they say concert B flat, they play their B flat. You don't really have to think too hard for this. Their unit of transposition is a perfect unison. Your non-transposing instruments are flute, oboe, bassoon, trombone, bass clef euphonium, tuba, xylophone, marimba, chimes, timpani. Technically speaking, the piccolo is also a non-transposing instrument, but its unit of transposition is actually a perfect octave. So when they say B flat, they are playing concert B flat. They're just playing an octave above. So they're kind of non-transposing, but they kind of do. So we'll put the transposing by an octave instruments here. The glockenspiel, or bells, are the same in the same boat. They transpose by an octave. When they say concert B flat, they still play B flat, just an octave above, just like the bells. These instruments, you don't have to change notes for them to speak the same language. Here we go. These are your instruments in the key of B flat. These instruments have a unit of transposition of a major second. These instruments are the B flat clarinet, tenor sax, trumpet, and treble clef euphonium. These instruments transpose by a major second. The bass clarinet, though, transposes by a major second and an octave. So just like here, it's the same transposition, but they read it an octave down. So when a clarinet player is playing their C, they're actually playing concert B flat. Same thing for all of these instruments, because they transpose by a major second. Concert B flat, go up a major second, and you get to their note, which is C. So if one of the B flat instruments is playing concert E flat, it means that they are playing their F. If a trumpet player is playing concert B natural, that trumpet player is playing their C sharp. Moving on to the E flat instruments. The E flat instruments transpose by a major sixth. This is their unit of transposition. Pretty much, we just have the alto sax and the bari sax in this family of E-flat instruments. There's also the E-flat clarinet, but it's not very common. I'll include it just for shiggles. The alto clarinet is also an uncommon wind band instrument nowadays, but it transposes by a major sixth. The E-flat clarinet, the little one, transposes by a major sixth and a perfect octave. So it transposes a major sixth and a perfect octave up. So it's higher than what is actually written. These instruments, when they play concert B-flat, it means that they're playing their G. So if a bari sax player is playing their G natural, that is a concert B-flat, which is this player's C natural. Transposition going to the concert pitch allows everyone in the band to speak the same language because the instruments don't speak the same language. The F instruments transpose by a perfect fifth. That is their unit of transposition. There are only two instruments in this category that are commonly used in the wind band: the French horn and the English horn. An easy way for you to remember that is both of the horns play in the key of F. They transpose by a perfect fifth. So when a French horn player plays their concert B flat, that player is playing their F. So we use the concert pitch for all of these different instruments to speak the same language. Instead of telling every player exactly what note they are supposed to play, you can use a universal language like concert D. This player, a flute player, a trombone player, non-transposing player, plays their D natural. Easy, done. For concert D, in B-flat land, for these players, clarinet, tenor sax, trumpet, euphonium, treble clef euphonium, and bass clarinet, concert D is their E. For an E-flat player like an alto bari sax, alto clarinet, or E-flat clarinet, concert D is their B. For a horn player, concert D is their A. So even though they're saying the different letters, they'd actually be playing the same pitch. So let me show you how to use this transposition. Some good advice would have been to take a picture of that and take notes on that. So you have the instruments and their unit of transposition. I have a feeling that's on the quiz that I made. Just a hint. So let's say that you have a trumpet player. A trumpet player is playing their D flat. And the question asks you, what is the concert pitch? Well, first you have to figure out what category the trumpet falls into. Is the trumpet a non-transposing or C instrument? Is it a B-flat instrument, E-flat instrument, or F instrument? If you said B-flat, you're right. The trumpet goes here, which means that they transpose by a major second. So, if you take this D flat that the trumpet player is already playing and go down a whole step, you get C flat. Here's where you have to know your whole steps and half steps, especially for the trumpet players and the B flat instruments. because it's only one step. Let's say you have a horn player that's playing their G, and you need to know the concert pitch. Horn goes in the F category because it is an F horn, which transposes by a perfect fifth. So you need to know what note is a perfect fifth below G. C. If you go up a perfect fifth from C, you get G. It's much easier when you have the concert pitch to go to the transposing or instrument pitch. For me, what I do, I go to concert B flat for every instrument. And in high school, I memorized what concert B flat scale was for every single instrument. And I made this chart. Here's my concert B flat scale for the C instruments. I know that a major second above B flat is C. From here, all I need to do is build a major scale because they're all major scales. So they have to follow the formula whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. This is the concert B flat scale for a B flat instrument, like clarinet, tenor sax, and trumpet. Over here, I need to find a major sixth above B flat. Luckily, I know that major sixth is a diatonic interval, and since I already have the scale built out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. G is concert B flat for an alto or bari saxophone. Now, I just need to build the G major scale. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Done. For the horns, I need to find a perfect fifth above B flat. Luckily, perfect fifth is another diatonic interval, which means it's inside the scale that I already built. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which means that the B flat scale, concert B flat scale for a horn player starts on F. From here, build the F major scale. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. This transposition chart got me through most of the notes. However, not every note is on this chart, because it's just the B flat major scale. Again, this is what I did in high school. I got smarter. Eventually, I made a chromatic scale, so I just added the notes in between. In between B flat and C is B natural. B natural has to be in between, concert B natural has to be between C and D, which means that this is C sharp or D flat. This is G sharp and A flat. And this is F sharp and G flat. Same thing here. You just have to add all the notes that are in between your whole steps. So I'll do that for you now. So now that I have a chromatic scale, now I can go across the matrix that I just made and fill in all the answers.